all about avoidant attachment style. Let's talk about signs that you or your partner may have an avoidant attachment style, how it develops, and what you can do to heal an avoidant attachment style. Hey there, I'm Lauren. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist specializing in relationship and sex therapy. Let's get into it. Starting with behaviors or traits that are really common amongst people with an avoidant attachment style. One of the classic traits is that somebody with an avoidant attachment style tends to pull away or withdraw in a relationship when things are actually going well, when you're getting closer, when there's more intimacy, because it can feel like too much and feel really overwhelming for somebody with an avoidant attachment style. So they'll actually pull away. They may start to see their partner as too needy or too much or taking away too much of their independence. So they start to go inwards. They may break up with their partner, or they may just kind of shut down from the relationship. You may also have high expectations of your relationship or your partner. Now, it's okay to have high expectations of a relationship. Actually, this can be a good thing because it means you're willing to work harder on the relationship. The difference with somebody with an avoidant attachment style is these become almost unrealistic, that their partner has to be perfect or the relationship has to be that perfect, almost in the rom-com at the end where everything ends up perfectly. And because of these super, super high expectations, they tend to really focus on the perceived flaws or shortcomings of their partners. And they almost nitpick and say, well, there's this thing that they're doing and I don't know if I can handle that. And so it starts to drive a wedge between them and their partner. They disconnect from them because of these little things, because they're kind of always looking for this perfect person. They believe that somebody out there is out there for them that is a really good match and perfect, and just the relationship they're having now isn't quite cutting it. So maybe I should just move on to the next partner and see if they're going to be a better fit for me. Since somebody with an avoidant attachment style is tending to look for their perfect partner and focusing on these perceived flaws and shortcomings, they may enter and exit relationships quickly because they start to get to know somebody, things get close and intimate, and then they withdraw, or they start to notice all the flaws with their partners or comparing them. Oh, they're not quite as good as my last partner, so let me move on because I believe that perfect person's out there. I want to go find them, and so let me just move in. So they may not be someone who has a lot of long-term relationships. They may be in and out of relationships fairly quickly or casually date a lot. Another really common sign of an avoidant attachment style is difficulty identifying, accessing, or communicating their feelings to their partner. And not just about things related to the relationship, but just about their feelings in general, about work or friends or anything. They have trouble talking about those deeper, more vulnerable feelings, really beyond, well, it's okay, I'm mad, I'm happy, I'm sad. Really getting to the deeper underneath feeling is difficult, which we'll understand why in a moment when we talk about where avoidant attachment styles come from. Now, somebody like this may also struggle to understand why somebody else has so much emotional needs, or really sees other people's just general needs as being really needy, or if they show emotion as being really over emotional or dramatic, because they don't access their own emotions. So it's hard for them to understand or really empathize with somebody else accessing those emotions. Another sign might be that somebody with an avoidant attachment style can talk about their childhood and may say that it was good, it was fine, but if you really ask them for memories, specific memories about things that were good or not so good, they really struggle to articulate particular memories or emotions related with their childhood, rather than kind of just a 3,000-foot view of what it was like. Attachment in general develops as our strategy during childhood to keep our parent or caregiver close to us, because our parent or caregiver is our safety when we're a kid. And so we want to keep them close, and we want to know that they're going to protect us if we need them. Now, somebody with an avoidant attachment style generally has a parent who was not emotionally available, would shut down, withdraw, or go away essentially from them when they showed emotion. And so that what the child learns to do is cut off and disconnect from their emotions to keep that parent or caregiver safe. So this may be if the child showed a big emotion, their parent or caregiver would literally shut down. They may disassociate, they may check out, they may literally walk out of the room, or they may tell the child, you have to go to your room, deal with your emotions, and when you're calm, you can come back, which essentially sends the message that emotions make parent or caregiver go away, which is really scary. So what I need to do is show as little emotion as possible. So we internalize, we shut down, we disconnect from that. So it makes sense why somebody with an avoidant attachment style struggles to identify and access and communicate their emotions, because they've had a lot of practice disconnecting from it in order to keep themselves safe during childhood. This parent may also be one that shows very little emotions themselves. They don't go beyond kind of the mad, happy, sad. They may be very stoic. They may not show a lot of emotion or disassociate when they show a lot of emotion. So the child is also not being modeled a lot of emotional access or communication. They may also have a parent or caregiver who shames or dismisses their emotions. When the child shows emotions, they may say, that's not something to worry about. You shouldn't feel sad about that. Why are you getting angry over that? Oh, crying is for the weak. Whatever it is that sends the message, essentially, that showing emotions is not okay. So again, the child learns, let me go inward, let me keep parent or caregiver close to me, so I'm going to disconnect from my emotions because there's something wrong with showing them. There may also be an overemphasis on the independence of the child, of really them being on their own. This can also show up as unrealistic expectations of what is age appropriate for a child to do on their own or be on their own. Essentially, kids need help managing their emotions, and when they're having big emotions and said, okay, you need to go away and do that on your own, it emphasizes that I have to take care of myself. I'm the only one who really cares about my emotions. No one else is going to be here for me. Those are generally the ways that avoidant attachment styles develop. So let's talk about now, as you're an adult, you may be realizing that I have an avoidant attachment style. And while those strategies were adaptive as a kid, they helped you survive, they helped you keep your parent or caregiver safe, they helped you cope through a situation, and you probably got really good at those things because that's what we tend to do. It's probably not serving you as much anymore in your relationship as an adult. So what can you do to heal your avoidant attachment style? Which you can. You are not destined to always have an avoidant attachment style. We can have what's called earned secure attachment. So how exactly can you start to do that? First, you need to learn to identify your deactivating strategies. Do you withdraw? Do you disassociate? Do you shut down? Do you walk away? Do you push people away? What do you do to shut down from those big emotions when they come from you? Because again, that's what you learn to do as a kid. So you need to recognize your strategies, and you may have a good idea of this already. And if you don't, you can really reflect on moments when emotions got big in a relationship, whether it's romantic or otherwise, or if you have a partner right now, you can ask them, what do you see me do when we have conflict, and start to get a sense of what this looks like and what your pattern is like. Once you get a good grasp of what your deactivating strategies are, you want to put some things in place to help you stay in the moment. You can remind yourself, I need intimacy even if it feels uncomfortable. Being in touch with my emotions is actually a strong thing to do. It doesn't mean I'm weak. I need connection. The more connected and secure the relationship, actually, the more independence I'm going to have. So whatever it is you need to do to kind of coach yourself through these moments to help stay connected with your partner. You may also start with doing something like containing, taking breaks. So if you get big, you're noticing that you're going into your deactivating strategies during an argument with a partner, you can say, hey, I'm noticing this is coming up for me. I need 10 minutes. Let's take a break and come back to this. So you don't have to do it all in the moment. You can help kind of soothe yourself in those moments and then come back to the conversation. But that's the key point. You have to come back if you take a break. That's why I call it a contained break. As somebody with an avoidant attachment style, you have a tendency to interpret behaviors that are normal, healthy, and secure in relationships as being needy or dramatic or too much or encroaching on your independence or controlling. So knowing that you have this tendency, when you notice those thoughts popping up, like, oh my gosh, this is so much, they just need so much from me, pause and check yourself and say, okay, wait, I know I have this tendency. Is there another plausible explanation for my partner sharing this? Let me check in and really check in with yourself and do a reality check. So you don't go to those automatic thoughts of like, this is too much. I need to go away. I need to be by myself. And saying, is this just my avoidant attachment system getting activated? Or is this a normal, healthy part of a relationship? And then again, reminding yourself that I have a need for intimacy, even if it makes me uncomfortable. I have needs, or my partner has needs. They are not needy. The more secure the relationship is, the more independence I have. You want to find some kind of mantras that really resonate with you to tell yourself in those moments to help ground you in what is actually a secure attachment. Another really helpful strategy is to create a relationship gratitude list where you're going to refer to it often. It can be on your phone, on your mirror, something you can look at a lot to keep it at the top of your conscious mind that intimacy is something you're wanting and that connection is important to you and that all of those mantras that you have that are important and the reasons that you want to be in a relationship. Because again, your mind is going to have the tendency to go to that, this is too much, better off on my own, run away. So you need to take a moment, get centered. Why is this relationship important? What do I care? Why do I care about it? What does it mean to me? Have it actually written out so you have something to refer to. A really helpful strategy for when you're having deeper conversations or difficult conversations or emotionally provocative conversations with your partner is to use distraction techniques. Do something active while you're having the conversation. Go for a walk or a hike, cook dinner together, or even while you're driving together. Something where you're not staring eye to eye, because for somebody with an avoidant attachment style, that can feel really intimate, feel really intense, and really trigger your attachment system to run away. This is too much. You need to get away from this emotion. So engage in distraction activities while you're actually having the conversation. It's going to help you. Inner child healing can also be really helpful here. One of my favorite strategies is to write a letter to the younger version of yourself. So if you can, pull up a picture of yourself as a child and really think about what it was like to be at that age, what it felt like in your body, in your home, with your parents or caregivers, and write a letter to yourself as your adult self of what you wished you had received instead of what you had gotten. Telling yourself those kind of mantras that you're telling yourself now. You're safe, you're worthy of love, whatever it is that's going to connect with you and help you heal that break between your inner child and your adult self. That's your crash course in avoidant attachment styles. Now you know how to identify it better, where it comes from, and what to do about it. If you use any of these strategies, let me know in the comments below, or if you have any questions or want to know more about it, because we could talk about this all day long, let me know.